Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Talk Anime, the only anime news source you need to be listening to. Who we got with us today?
Yo, it's me, Christian.
Yep. Crane here, everybody. How's it going?
Pretty great. Um, you can catch us here right here on YouTube. Hit the bell and subscribe if you do, please. Get the updates on all of our content we put up. You can also find us on SoundCloud, and soon to be Podbean. I know I've been saying that for a couple of months now, but that's going to happen in some point in the near future. Probably about the end of the summer here, I'd say, is when we're going to get all that together. You can also catch us on Twitter at the Ohio Guys. Um, oh, and while we're doing a few plugs here, you can also catch our buddy Blake Shepard on the Patreon as well. Um, we'll have a link for that down below. And other than that, we got some pretty good news this week, guys. Another full roundup.
Yep,
Amen
another
to that.
barrage.
First off, is Sunrise is going to launch an animator training program in April 2018.
hmm
Which,
So,
yeah, be very good, big time. Because, yeah, Japan, they need animators.
yeah, this is a good program, especially from Sunrise. Especially for fans who are familiar with the company and their past works. Sunrise has created some of the best anime shows out there. From Cowboy Bebop to Escaflowne, The Big O. Their animation style is just unique. It's all around. And this is like a fantastic opportunity for aspiring artists, who want to contribute to the anime industry, and now they get to learn the craft from these veterans who already have been working in this industry for like almost 20, 30 years, maybe longer. And I think this is something that all companies should have in Japan, which it's not, which is not common. And for Sunrise to spearhead this sort of program, it's really going to benefit themselves. It's going to benefit these new up and comers. It's going to improve anime in so many ways because now when the old veterans retire or go away, the new breed will take up the reins and create some new future titles that will come out by the time we get older. So this program, this training boot camp, or whatever you want to call it, it's going to benefit the industry as a whole.
Yeah, it's really neat. Apparently the program is also going to accept foreign applicants, but they do
hmm
have to have conversational levels of the Japanese language. But
Yep.
as long as you have that, honestly, it seems like anybody can apply for this.
hmm And I think the hourly training is pretty good too. Like they're giving it from 10 a.m. in the morning until 6 p.m. So especially for those who are not comfortable waking up at like 6 or 7 or 8, at least get those few hours, to get up, get their head in the game, and then attend the training program at 10 and leave by 6, which it's not a bad time. 6, you still have like the evening to yourself from 7 to whenever they decide to sleep.
Mm.
And again, this is good for especially young people for ages 18 to 25. And that that's it's like I said, we need new breed, like younger people that are going to become adults, full on middle aged adults by the time they take on bigger projects from Sunrise and from these TV companies that want something new, they want something fresh. This program is just going to do so much, and I'm just excited for you know maybe like some future uh, Hiroshi Kojinas that might come out in the future, or just like any like crafty artists that will benefit from this program. So there's just so much potential just building up, just thinking about this whole thing.
Oh yeah, it's a really neat program that they're going to be running. Um, I think it'll benefit the anime industry overall with it, especially if other companies started doing it. I mean, that wouldn't solve all the problems that the anime industry is having in Japan. Um,
Yeah, it's
but it's a nice step. I mean, they have other
Yeah.
issues with like pirating and all that, but
well, isn't
and
it's not
the
just
pay.
pirating. Well, yeah, it's not just pay and pirating either. A lot of the other Far Eastern Asian countries are getting involved in animation as well. Because
Right.
I know most recently, a friend of mine has been keeping an eye on the Korean market, and they're still starting out small. There's no way they're going to be near Japan right now, but they're getting better. And if Japan doesn't upkeep the momentum, they they will gain ground, and that's going to be less money for the Japanese. But at the same time, I think they just need more animators in general, not just the lack of pay, but at the same time, I know the way the Japanese handle business, they don't want to outsource their jobs all the time. That's not their style. But because of due to the lack of animators around, they have no choice. So,
Well, that goes back to some past topics and like other articles from last year. You know how some about the animators or manga writers and some of the animators are dying off pretty quickly at young ages, like 30s, 40s, and sometimes 50s. So now you need some new people to take their place since
mhm.
all these animators are dying. So there's a need to there's needs to be more hands on deck when it comes to making more anime because you can't complete a series if you're gonna have that's animators working from morning till nighttime. So it's this is a Call of Duty in some respect, just so we can get like new trained up, ready to go artists who are willing to get to work and get 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 the whole anime back on track because it is kind of they have been kind of falling off on the rails because of the lack of animators. So this should help out just a bit. And besides, it's only Sunrise, so they're the ones doing this. No other company is implementing their own program.
I would say that may be the case for now, but if this program it does prove to be successful, I wouldn't doubt that other Japanese studios will follow suit. No doubt about it.
Oh, I
Right.
completely agree. I think they probably would. Maybe not all of them, but some of the more prominent ones probably.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
So we'll see.
but there's a couple things this week that have been announced at Expo. Aniplex is going to be doing a couple different things there. They're going to be hosting the U.S. premiere of Irregular at Magic High School film, which released, I believe, earlier this year in Japan.
Hmm.
Or actually, it hasn't opened in Japan yet. It opens on the 17th.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
it opens tomorrow. Cool.
Because I believe when they're doing the movie premiere, they'll still have the subtitles and everything, but
Right, right. It won't be the dub of it. But that's going to be premiering there. I know been a bunch of other news that's just been happening today about stuff getting announced at Expo, but we'll cover that more in a later episode after
Mhm.
Expo. We'll do some sort of a recap of that. Um, but Aniplex also is going to be producing a dub for Fate Grand Order.
Yay,
First
Yes,
more
Order.
fate.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for that.
Yeah, the special aired, when was that? I believe it was in January. End of December, first week of January, around there, which was pretty cool. It's a nice little build-up film for their mobile game,
Hmm.
which, speaking of their mobile game, that's launching later this month on the 25th here in the States.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, they're just cranking out, the whole Fate Grand Order, what do you call it, both the game and the anime. So,
Well, not the
uh,
anime,
well,
just the special that they did for it. That's
yeah,
all there is
the
for that
special.
one.
Well, you know what I mean. But
Right.
yeah, yeah, I'm just super excited because I've been dying to just get more into more Fate
Oh,
because
more Fate's always great.
I
Um,
Heck
just want
yeah.
I just want more, man. Like it's like This thing's like it's like skooma to me, you know? Can't get enough of that. Skyrim joke.
Speaking of more Fate, though, there's a new series launching on July 1st.
Mm-hmm. More Apaka. Can you say it, man? I can't say this one.
I honestly can't pronounce it, so I didn't even attempt to do it.
Fine, let's try.
Hold on a minute.
Apocrypha.
Where is it?
Fate.
Oh, let's see. I'll give it a whack. It's
Go
probably
for it.
Fate Apocrypha, or
Close enough, maybe.
Close enough.
yeah. Screw it. Yeah, ask the director. He'll tell you.
Yeah. It's going to be streaming exclusively on Netflix, which is interesting. I honestly don't know how that'll work. Like, are they going to do it week by week episodes on Netflix, or are they just going to wait until it's done and just release it? Like, how does that even work?
Well, the way
No,
Netflix usually does, they put the whole episodes in
Yeah,
just
yeah.
one go.
Typically, they put
yeah,
all in one
Yeah,
go, but
they've they've
I'm
always
assuming
done.
that's not how they would do it with this, though.
I
they
think they will
might.
because that's what they did with Ajin, Macedonia, and what's the other show they did? They did on before, so there's no doubt about Fate Apocrypha. That's gonna
Right,
get all
but
the
I think they
episodes.
had the rights to stream. Was it My Little Witch Academia? And they did that week by week, I believe, or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I
That
could
was
be
not.
wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was working.
Yeah, I was not aware of that. So
Yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to work. Hopefully they just put it all on there at once. That'd be really cool because I'd love to just
Yeah,
go right through
I
this.
because
yeah.
then it kind of defeats their purpose of Netflix binging, you know?
Right. It seems like
Yes.
there's gonna be a lot of cool different characters in it, though. I mean, there's just going through there. There's gonna be Ruler. There's gonna be Saber of Black and then Saber of Red.
They're gonna. Oh man, wait
Yeah,
until they
there's
get.
like a red and a black version of each like character of like Lancer, Archer, Caster,
That's
Berserker,
crazy.
Assassin, and I don't know what that means because it's different voice actors and actresses for each role. Like I don't know anything about this series yet.
Me neither. I think from what I've heard about different the Fate series, like different chapters, some characters get like changed up. You know, some because they're all not going to be the same. Like, because I think I was telling either you or someone about how the Fate series was supposed to be attended, which is why they created Fate Prototype like a few years ago.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I think this in this case they might have like a different like historical figure, you know, representing one of the classes.
That's what it could be. It seems like I'm reading the synopsis here, and one of the lines here. With apparently, I'm assuming this is taking place in an alternate timeline compared to
Yeah,
the
that's
other ones. That's what it seems like. But it looks like yeah, it is going to be a 7 versus 7 war, which I think that'll make it really interesting.
yeah, because I have had like a few times where the show could have been longer, but like some, you know,
Right.
it's they're stuck in 26, 24, 26 episodes. We know like, you know, they're going to die sometime, so it doesn't drag on too long.
Well, I'm
But
curious with this, like, where there's the red and the black versions of these. I wonder if they're mirror matchups, or if it's
yeah,
completely different heroes fighting each other. Which I think, if that's the case, that'd be really cool.
it would. Like maybe like polar opposites, maybe like they have different like uh morals or different
Well, I
fighting
would assume
styles.
they will, but what I'm meaning is like two completely different heroes in the same class fighting each other.
Yeah, like you know, like you have like
Not just like a good or a bad version of like Saber, like obviously
no, no, not that. No,
completely
I mean
different
just
heroes.
maybe like more of like I can describe like maybe like a mentality, sort of like how they how the world or people like
How
maybe
they
they
what?
see maybe like how they see like the world or different people like maybe like this is the way they see things go and they're opposite of the same class would be like oh no it's this is the way the world and people should be, and like maybe like more of a, what's the word? There's a word for it, but I can't think of it. But
Oh, I don't even think it needs to go that far. I'm just two different, completely different characters. That's all I'm saying.
this is the Fate series, so it will go that direction.
Right.
It's going to. No, okay, more philosophical. That's what I've been looking for, philosophical.
No, I don't think they need to go that deep with it. Just have two different sabers or two different archers fighting each other. I think that'd be cool enough right there.
We'll see what they have in store for us.
Right. In other news, though, Studio Trigger announced that they're going to be doing an Inferno Cop Season 2.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with that series. Any one of you guys want to enlighten me on that one?
I'm honestly not very familiar with it myself. I'm usually pretty up to par with my Studio Trigger
Hmm.
series, but that's one I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, because I've heard of Little Witch Academia all the time, but
Yeah,
I've never really.
apparently, the first season of it aired on a YouTube channel back in 2012,
Oh, okay.
and it's on Crunchyroll as well now. But it's a comedy, follows an unholy police officer as he fights for justice.
Hmm. An unholy police officer. So possibly might be an anti-hero. Possibly.
Yeah,
Not
it's a
sure.
comedy though, so like a comedic anti-hero or something like that. I don't know. I haven't watched it, but it seems interesting.
Could be insane like Deadpool in a way.
Yikes. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Um, the new show Gamers is going to be premiering on July 13th. That's going to be one of the shows simulcasted this summer season.
Yep, I've heard
Which,
about this one a couple times.
yeah, it sounds pretty interesting. Um, it's
What's
a
about?
it's about a young man who loves video games. The beautiful president of a video game club, constantly fighting with one of the characters, puts on a facade of being satisfied with his life in the real world, but in truth he loves video games. It's seems like it's gonna
Kind
be
of so basically a boy version of Umaru-chan in some manner.
maybe, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure like where the plot exactly is gonna go with it, but
It sounds kind of like the world God only knows. That's what it sounds like to me.
well, I think it's gonna be harem-esque, but I don't think it necessarily like a sexualized one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it seems like to me.
which I do mind those. I don't mind the harems that are not sexualized, sexualized. I don't whatever, you know.
Right. I mean, I don't have a problem with those either, but
I know some people do though. So, yeah, it happens.
if you've kept up with our channel recently, you know we've been playing a lot of video games. Me personally, I've been playing a lot of visual novels. And speaking of that, like their Compile Hearts, on Mo, I'm gonna pronounce this horribly again. I'm terrible at this. Moro Chronicle. I think that's how you pronounce that. Game is gonna be heading to the West on PC this summer. So honestly, it looks like one of the ones I might pick up and play for the channel here. It seems interesting. Apparently, I think it originally released on the Vita, is what it did. But
Hmm.
essentially, it's about a young man with only one problem: can't talk to women. And then apparently, any attempts at at this is only one. Let's see, where is it? Any attempts at conversation are destroyed by his perverted mind, except when he talks to this one. Except when he talks to his best friend and a monster girl. Interesting.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think it's
Okay.
gonna be interesting game. I mean, I'm always up to play games like that. Yeah, yeah, it came out in 2014 on the Vita, so they're re-releasing it for PS or for PC with updated graphics. I mean, just from the little art picture of it, it looks pretty.
Hmm.
So definitely have to check that one out. We got a second promo video for the new No Game No Life movie.
Oh yeah.
Have either of you watched it?
The film? No.
No, no,
No.
no, no. The film doesn't come out till January or July 15th. But the promo video that came out.
I did not see the promo video, but I did read up on the articles.
Okay. I'm beyond ecstatic for this. Like, this might possibly mean a season 2. We'll wait and
Oh,
see. There's
it
nothing
might.
confirmed or not confirmed with that, but it's always a step in the right direction when some more content is coming out.
That's true.
Especially since it's very popular still. And
Oh
the first
yeah.
season came out like 3 years ago now. And it's still extremely popular.
Not only that, because when you do put out the movie and stuff, it does help set up, if it is considered like a sequel and not a spin-off, it does help develop the plot even further, and it'll actually make the transition into another season much better.
Right. But that's coming out, or that promo came out. Looks interesting. I'm definitely going to check the movie out. And also, Sentai picked up the rights for it already.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt they did. Shoot.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
hope so.
That just happened the other day, but yeah, they did that. They announced that, and then I was looking at their Anime Expo lineup for what they're going to be doing. They already have posters for the show they're going to be giving away,
Sweet.
or for the
Lucky.
movie.
Wish you were
Lucky.
there.
Oh, I wish I was there too. Because speaking of No Game No Life, the creator is going to be at Expo.
Oh, I know. No fair.
I know, like this is like the 1 year where I was like, oh my god, I really wish I could be at Expo. Because that's probably the only time he'll ever come to the U.S.
Yeah, because usually for especially high-profile Japanese voice actors or directors, they almost never come to the U.S.
Right. Well, I don't think it was the director. I think it was like the manga creator, like
Even
who
even
created
still,
it. Yeah.
it's like getting them out of Japan is hard enough as it is.
Oh, it's next to impossible a lot of the time. So, super jealous about that. Wish I could be at Expo. Maybe I can get something somehow from it. I don't know. I don't think we have any friends out in California.
Not that I'm aware of. Well, nah, they'd be busy if we. Nah, they'd be busy.
Anyways, another new show that's going to be coming out, I believe, this summer. My Girlfriend is a Faithful Virgin Bitch. Honestly, on name alone, I have to at least check this show out.
Yeah.
Like, it just sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, I was reading the synopsis on that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so gonna get in trouble with this one.
Oh, yeah. Like, without a doubt. The synopsis for it sounds great. I'm gonna have to watch it. Just with a name like that. I saw this one pop up the other day that it was getting a TV animation or an anime, and I was like, yeah, I gotta watch this.
Or the other, like, in parentheses title is Case Where My Girlfriend is a Too Serious Virgin Slut.
I mean, that's
You
pretty
think-
much what it says.
Yeah.
You think Michael will ever watch this?
Oh, he better.
I hope
Depending
so.
upon who picks it up, he will or will not.
I can see him picking up because of the title.
No, he wouldn't do that. What he usually does is he'll read the synopsis. If he likes it, he'll check it out. If not, then or he'll see what the ratings are.
Right.
Which, me personally, I don't give a shit about ratings.
I generally don't either. I just like to watch anime.
Yep. And sometimes we find hidden gems that other people bash on all the time. So, way I see it, you never really can take ratings too serious, or at least you can't completely rely on them.
Right, exactly. I think that show's coming out this summer. I honestly don't know. It may be in the fall, but regardless, whenever it comes out, I need to check that one out. There's not a release date on the article here, so it might not be until a little bit later. But it looks like it's going to be like a one and done. The manga only had 3 volumes.
Oh yeah, it's one and done, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Which
But
is
even
fine.
so-
It'll probably end on a good note then.
Yep. And sometimes those short shows, even though they're short, they're hilarious.
Right. Or actually, oh no, there's two different things of conflicting information on this.
Hmm.
It's okay. It's I guess that there's a comic. Let's see. The manga launched in 2015. Oh, and it also serializes on Comic Walker. Okay, so they released part of it as a comic, and there's
Okay.
like 60 chapters of that. But
Yeah, because
I think they just take parts from the manga and use those for the comic is what it looks like.
yeah, that's not uncommon to be honest,
Right, yeah, because the third compiled volume shipped on March 25th.
because I've seen other shows where not their entire series would not be in a manga. Some of it would be in like novels or yeah, not so much as a manga.
Right. Another new
It's weird,
show.
but sometimes it happens.
Another new show that's going to be launching this summer on July 12th. Hajimete no Gale. It's a romantic comedy about. I mean, it's a typical high school one. It sounds like, but it looked interesting enough that I might check it out. Um, an uncool high school student who frets about wanting to lose his virginity, egged on by his friends. June gets on his knees and confesses his love to a classmate. The confession surprisingly works and the couple goes out. However, June finds himself in uncharted waters with the person he asked out, a trendy and fashion conscious gal. So,
Eh,
I think it's gonna be. It sounds like it'd be a funny show.
maybe. I don't know.
Like I
I'll
could
have to
see
see.
some. I mean from the like the cover art for it looked interesting enough. Looks like it'd be a pretty show, so I might add that to my list of shows to watch this summer. Hopefully it's not as intensive as what I've been watching this season. I could use a few less shows, but
Hmm.
I'd definitely at least check that one on there. We also got the dubcast announcement for Gate,
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
and boy is it a good cast.
you ain't lying.
Uh,
It just means I got more shit for Molly.
I know. David Wald, Brittany Karbowski, uh, Molly Cersei, Mercury, Juliette Simmons, Rachel Landon are going to be rounding out your mains, and that's a hell of a list. Like Sentai with these dubs they've been putting out, like the last like what 8 dubs or so, have been
Hmm.
incredible.
Yeah, it's a ever since last year, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean
Even
they've just been
even
killing it.
yeah, the way I see it, they need to.
I mean they've still. I mean there's other people on there too. I mean you got what?
Tyler Galindo,
Yeah,
Stephanie Widows, Ty Mahaney, Josh Morrison, John Gremlin, Jay Hickman, Chris Patton, Adam Noble, Adam Gibbs, Stephen Fenley, Chris Gibson. Should I keep going?
no,
No,
because
that's
you're going to
good.
be going on forever.
Um, oh, what was it? Didn't oh,
It's a
was
big
it
list.
wasn't it Jessica Boone that had a funny character name?
Yes, Pina
Yeah,
Colada.
yeah, Pina Colada.
Yes.
I don't know if that was because the creators thought that'd be funny or they thought that was a legit name. So,
I'm sure it was because they're being funny. It's also
Yeah,
being directed by Kyle Jones, which I always enjoy his work.
yeah.
yep.
His
And
This is
best thing about him is you never know who's going to be in his shows.
and to be honest, I kind of like that sometimes because it keeps us on the edge of our seats.
Oh, it definitely does.
he had to deal with a lot of voice actors for the show. Like, god dang, the list keeps going.
Oh, it really does. It's quite the list with that one.
I'm seeing so many names, man. Like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't like. I watched part of the show. I just felt like it wasn't the show for me. I didn't really enjoy it. I watched I don't know 4 or 5 episodes and just could not get into it. But the I didn't realize there was that many different characters in the show.
So
That's
that's
insane.
I think it's interesting because the ADR writer is George Manley, and like he can actually do some pretty good writing himself.
Right.
So I like to see what he does with the show.
Oh, also announced today. Staying on the line of Sentai stuff. They're going. Sentai's going to be showing the first dub or first, at least at the first episode. I don't know if it's going to be the first couple episodes, but they're going to be premiering Food Wars dub at Expo.
About time.
Yes.
I am so excited for that. So Expo's in what, like 3 weeks? So we're gonna know the cast, or at least part of the cast.
In
Mhm.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's right around the time we're going to Chicago, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Expo's usually the same week as Midwest.
Well, not this time. I think Expo's 1 week before Chicago.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When Midwest used to be over July 4th weekend, that's when they were the same weekend. But then Midwest moved one weekend out from the 4th.
Yeah, we could use that to our advantage.
um.
Just saying.
Yeah. But they're gonna be doing that there, and I'm super excited for that. Hopefully, we get the cast announcement for Monster Masumi soon too, because that comes out in
Yes.
July. I would assume that they're going to announce that cast list before they would announce Food Wars, because Food Wars isn't coming out until August.
Yeah, I already pre-ordered my copy. So
Nice.
Mm.
Genocidal Organ. It's this new film that's going to be coming to the U.S. In July 12th and 13th. It's actually going to be in U.S. theaters. It seems quite interesting. Like I watched the trailer for it earlier today, and it's like this. It seems like an action kind of war type of a movie, like a little bit futuristic. I don't really know how to describe it too well, but it seemed really interesting. I would definitely check that out.
you know
If
the
it's
name Jess of the Organ. It sounds really graphic and gory.
Yeah, yeah, no, and that's what it looked like at some points in the trailer that I watched. Like it
Really? Was it?
might be, yeah. So, I mean, it looked like it was pretty decent, and the animation looked really good as well.
Yep. Next best thing from gore is more gore.
Yes.
Especially 80s anime gore. Oh damn, that thing would give you nightmares.
Yeah, well,
Nah. Yeah, 90s too.
I say 80s. I give it to the 80s.
I don't know, the 90s, they got more creative with the stuff too.
Yeah, I agree with you in that part. But the 80s, they just didn't give a shit.
It's just, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, though, it's just that a lot of the 90s, like the really gory stuff from the 90s, you just don't hear as much because it was that gory.
you're not wrong.
And let's just say it's not something you would eat, you would want to eat right after dinner.
That
Yikes.
too. That's before we get into a darker conversation. Why don't we get back on track this time with the Hoodoo announcements?
Yeah, I thought they were out of the anime game, like pretty much. Apparently not.
Nope.
They're getting the Asterisk War, the English dub.
Hmm.
Um,
And many more of the Aniplex titles as well.
Yeah, that's interesting to me because Aniplex has been doing their stuff with Netflix. I mean, they're still going to be doing stuff with Netflix. We touched a little bit on that earlier with that the Fate series that's going to be streaming on there.
Mhm.
So,
I think it's just like
this is
just
interesting. I mean, I
honestly,
honestly thought Hulu was like pretty much done with anime with Amazon getting on board with it, and then Funimation and Crunchyroll doing their own thing, and then with Netflix's stuff with Aniplex, there wasn't really anything left for them. But apparently, they're still going to be doing some stuff.
I don't
yeah.
know. It's just that no, Hulu, they're still around. They just mainly work with Sentai Filmworks. Because
Do
Oh yeah,
before
they
that,
do
the
anything with Sentai still, even with
yeah they do.
Sentai working
They
with Strike?
Oh no, because that was they've been doing it for years, man. Like that's where Sentai sends their dub shows at Hulu.
Oh, okay.
but
I,
yeah,
I've seen their shows and like, oh nice. So I'm always like, I'm like a kid in a candy store whenever I see some of the Sentai shows that I don't own on Hulu. So it's a good benefit for people who have Hulu because that gives them more options. Just to like if they really have Hulu, they don't need to spend the money on a box set or go somewhere else for the dubs or for the show. because now Aniplex and some of the other companies are putting their shows on Hulu. So
And
this, go on.
but another thing to consider is that Hulu in general, they're usually not very loud in terms of business. They always like to stick around, but quietly.
That's true.
So, but this is normally their style of business.
hmm Hey, since we are on topic of Hulu, I just want to plug in Hulu. A big thanks to them for following us on our Twitter page from like a few months ago. So
Whee! Yeah.
Hulu, if you are listening to our podcast, thank you again. We how guys are honored to have you guys follow us back. So we deeply appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you, and we wish you the best of luck to your endeavors. And we will be watching a lot more anime now, since you guys are bringing more shows onto your platform.
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
um, Sentai announced another show they're going to be dubbing. I don't know. Did you
Yep,
guys see that one?
I did.
Flying Witch.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that one.
Yeah, this show. Um, eh,
It sounds similar to Kiki's Delivery Service, but as a TV series.
kind of. Yeah. I mean, it seems like a pretty solid slice of life. That's the kind of
Yes,
vibe that I've gotten from it. I think it
Maybe
was
like
one of the shows
a
I was going to watch last year, but I just didn't get around to it.
it could be
this
like a supernatural slice of life.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
this was under my radar, so I did not even see this coming at all.
Right. I remember they picked it up. I just did not expect them to do a dub of this one.
I
Honestly.
I didn't even see them pick it up. That's how much of a surprise it came to me
Mm.
when I saw the announcement.
For
Right.
me, I did see them pick it up, but I don't think they were planning to do a dub. But they did have a consistent fan following and requests for a dub, so I'm guessing they eventually was like, you know what, fans want it, let's dub it.
Oh yeah, that's what I would assume. I mean, that's always what they do with their shows. No matter
Hmm.
what show it is, if there's enough fans that are asking for it, Sentai will dub it. That's just how they are.
And that's the way it works, and keeps your fans happy, and it keeps them uh, coming back to Sentai.
Right. I love that about them. Like, I've been hinting towards them strongly that I want Anonymous Noise dubbed. Like every time they tweet something about the show, or at least not every time, but every once in a while, I'll be like, "Oh, the show's so good. I need a dub." Hint, hint.
Yep.
So, hopefully, I'm sure they'll dub that show. It's popular. It seems like a typical show that they would dub as well. But yeah, it's always nice to have a company that listens to their fans and dubs what the fans want, which is
hmm
great.
I just hope they keep dubbing some of their older shows one of these days.
Right.
That's
I got like a list longer than Santa's list. I hope they can dub one day.
oh my
I have a
gosh.
couple shows from their backlog that I wish that they would dub.
Yep, me too. I think we all do.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple on there. But what's everybody been watching lately? Besides, I know Christian and I've been keeping up on our simulcasts, or at least hopefully we have been.
Yeah. Just same stuff. What's the show that I think I'm not done yet, but I'm still watching. It's called Help. Do you have time to save the world? Oh, World End, World End.
Ooh, I I literally spent the other day catching up on that one.
What do you think so far?
Good. I'm on to episode 10. I think it's up to episode 11 now, but I had watched like episodes 1, 2 and 3 when it was airing. Well, it's
hmm
still airing, but like weekly, and then I got behind on it, and then I spent a morning before I had to go to work catching up on the show, and it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just I'm just curious of how it's gonna end. That's my concern, because
Right. If
it's
it's only a 12 episode series, it seems like it needs to be longer.
yeah.
Because it seems like it's going to end like either on a really sad note or just a cliffhanger. Like
I hope it.
I don't see any way around that.
I mean, I just hope it does end in a sad note. Yeah, like that's kind of how it a little bit began. So I just hope it just ended the same way.
Right. But it seems like something that's probably going to get a second season at this rate that it's going at. I mean, I can't say for sure because I'm 2 episodes behind.
Hmm.
Still, but the pace it's been moving at seems like that's the case.
Right.
But it's been pretty enjoyable. I mean, it kind of surprised me because I kind of lost a little interest in it, but I decided to go back and actually catch up on it. And I think binge watching, like I think like about 6 or 7 episodes I did, really helped get the interest back into it.
No. Okay.
It feels like one of those shows which you need to watch like consecutive episode after episode after episode instead of
Yeah.
weekly.
Yeah. Because it just for me, it's like I want to know what's gonna happen next. Because
Right.
it's just the way the episodes like come and like shit like you're like what the hell's gonna happen next.
Yeah, but it's not like for example, like My Hero Academia for me this season, where like I can't wait for the next episode to come out. Like I'm so hyped about that show. Like I can't wait like week to week to week. I have to see that one right now. World End was a little bit different for me. Like if the next episode was available right away, it was like a show that I liked to binge watch, but it wasn't a show that kept me like hyped for the next episode. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But other than that, yeah, I've been keeping up with My Hero Academia. Of course, that show is fantastic. Uromanga Sensei, really good. Still, um, Grimoire of Zero's been excellent. That show's been getting pretty crazy the last couple episodes. Anonymous Noise has been really good still. Clockwork Planet's been ramping up a little bit. That's starting to get better finally. Um, last episode of Attack on Titan was pretty good. It was just that's my same complaint with the show as always. If it's an action episode, it's a good episode. If it's something that's trying to progress the plot, it's a bad episode. That's just how that show works for the most part. Um, but I think there's only like 1 or 2 more episodes of that left, and it doesn't seem like they're going to really accomplish almost anything this season in it yet.
I didn't think it would.
Yeah,
I,
I didn't either, but
I read the manga, so when they said 12, I'm like, ooh, no. It's like that's your daughter's short on that one.
right. With what's happening with that show, like it just feels like so little has happened in these 12 episodes and like nothing is really going to get accomplished at all.
No, you have to read the manga if you want to see stuff progress. But even
Right.
so, the manga it still drags. Like I hit this once part where it's like, come on, hurry up, why are we here? Let's get to the real thing. But
Um
yeah, so we'll see what happens.
I say other than that, I'm a little bit behind on some other shows. Framed Armed Girls, I'm behind on that one. Armed Girls, Machiavellism, I believe is how
Hmm.
it's pronounced. I'm behind on
Oh,
that.
oh,
Um,
Machiavellism.
Machiavellism, yeah.
Yeah,
I do. The
I
show's
I
really
read his
good.
book.
I've just haven't had the time to catch up on it. Love Tyrant, I'm like 1 episode behind on that one. Um, that show's hilarious still.
Hmm.
I think it's my favorite comedy out of the season by far. Like it's not even close. And then what else? Recreators. I need to go back and catch up on that show. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, Allison Zorku. Just an update on that one. I have not kept up with that one at all. I've only watched the first 2 episodes still. Um, so hopefully with the little lull between seasons, by about a week and a half, I'll be able to catch up on that one. Oh, Berserk! I just watched a new episode of that today. That show is still excellent.
I will say this, even though I'm not seeing Berserk because I already read like almost all the manga, I already know where they're going at. So
Well, he got his Berserker armor like
that's what I thought. I
two
told you,
episodes ago. It's so
I
fucking cool.
you will see more of that, man. Like wait until he goes full Berserk.
Oh,
Unless you
it's pretty
starts.
awesome so far. I didn't watch the last episode of Dragon Ball Super. I was told it was garbage filler, so I'm just waiting on that one still. And Sakura Quest, I gave up on the show. Not gonna lie, it was just boring. It like it was a boring slice of life. Like I really enjoy slice of life shows. This one was just awful. Like I don't know. Like I don't think the show's bad. It's just really boring to me. But that's kind of where I'm at with my shows. What about you, Crane?
Me lately, I've been working on Toriko,
Had
and
you not
all I
previously watched it?
no, I haven't.
Ooh, it's good.
So far, I love the narrator. It's like just the narration before each episode on how they describe food. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Who plays the narrator in the dub?
At first I thought it was Ian Sinclair, but it's not him. It's someone else.
Is it
It's
Ken
Chris
Will?
Guerrero.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, that's who it is.
I always thought it was what's his face, Ken Williams.
No, Kent Williams has a deeper voice.
Yeah, Chris is a baritone. Kent, I think he's more of a bass.
Bass.
Bass, I say bass, I don't know. Bass. Tomato, tomato, there, I said it.
There's a big difference between us, Christian. One's a
I-
fish.
I've heard people say bass, god damn it. I'm serious. I've heard bass.
Well, they were incorrect too. But that show is great, Crane. Oh, it's so
Oh
good.
yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. Oh my gosh, just the ridiculousness with food.
I know.
I could see why Ian fell in love with the show, no doubt. Oh my gosh.
It's excellent. Such a good show.
Yep, BB corn.
Just every time Toriko yells fork and knife.
No, never mind. I'm about to come up with a really naughty joke on that. Never mind.
Yikes. Uh,
No, I'm not saying it. Nope.
what else have you been watching?
Let's see. I'd say, for the most part, another show that I've just started up on. I don't know. I'm still waiting to see if it'll get better or not. Is Brave Witches. It's basically a spin-off from Strike Witches.
Yeah, I gave up on it.
It's like I liked Strike Witches, but I don't know. It's like Brave Witches. It's not screaming the same feeling.
Yeah, it's I don't know, like I think I just didn't give it enough episodes, honestly. I only watched like the first 3 episodes, I think. And it felt like a show where you need to give it like at least like 6 to 7 episodes to actually get into the story because the story just wasn't even there at the beginning.
Well, that's usually how Strike Witches was as well, because it usually took a little bit longer to really get the story kicking in.
Right, but I don't know. For some reason, I just enjoy like Strike Witches had like a good amount of comedy in it too, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, that's
Which
true. I'd
this
say
show, I didn't get the same feel of that right off the bat. I just
no.
lost interest.
Yeah, they definitely. So far, I've only seen the first two. They so far definitely not as much, nearly as much comedy.
Yeah, it seemed like too much of like a
Too
coming to
serious.
age kind of a start to the show, and I was just kind of like, well, merp, this is boring.
Yeah.
I was wanting it to start into like some more action or something like right away, instead of having like to build up knowledge of the characters right away. it would have been nice to at least get some more involvement with the war and everything right off the bat.
Well, I would say it is getting into the action already. It's just that they're trying to help develop the main character little by little, because
Right.
it'd be kind of be a major plot hole if she's weak in episode one and then all of a sudden she's kicking everybody's ass the next episode.
True. Like I
It
understand
wouldn't make
that.
sense.
Like, I'm not saying character development's a bad thing because it's a great thing, but I
hmm
don't know. I just didn't like how it was executed. I should say. I think that's the best way to put it.
I would say if there was improvement for the show, I'd say definitely I would have liked to seen more comedic elements like Strike Witches had, because then it would have the same exact appeal and flair to it.
Right. Like Brave Witches from the start of it didn't have the same like comedic appeal or like even the same fan service appeal, I'd say.
No, which at the same time though, you also have a lot of other fans not care for the fan service, and maybe they were trying to cut down on that.
That could be
Who
it
knows?
too, but I mean,
'Cause
you got to kind of stay true to your base fans as well
that's
with that
true, but
show.
but
Which it wasn't a hugely overly fan servicey show,
no, it
but
wasn't.
this doesn't even hint at it really for the most part,
No,
from what I saw
but
at least.
at the same time, you got to give the studio credit for trying to adapt or change to what a lot of fans want, you
Right,
know?
yeah, I'll give them that much. At least they're trying something different.
Because I've learned throughout my time just learning and being involved in the anime community that no matter what you do, you're not going to satisfy every fan.
Well,
It's
yeah,
impossible.
yeah, it is impossible to do that.
And basically, you have to stick with your gut feeling or go with what sells.
You watching any other shows besides those two?
Um, Yeah, I'm watching a few other shows, but basically, I'm still continuing off a few others. Like, I'm still continuing off of Razafan. So far, it's really good. I really like it. Um, I'm almost done with The Familiar Zero. Basically, yeah, same scenario where it started off slow and now it's just becoming one major cluster harem, and
Right.
it's just ridiculous with the comedy and everything. It's pretty good. I recommend it. It's like if you don't mind, if you want to see the whole thing, the first season is dubbed, but the other three are subbed. So if you want to see the others, I know Hulu has them, so check them out. So that's at least how I've been seeing it.
Very nice.
And then another one I'm still trying to get started into, La Storia della Arcana Famiglia, which I would say it's taking a little bit, it's slower to develop. It's like the plot started off really fast and it started off really good, but all of a sudden they're now getting into more, they're just starting off with character development for everyone that might be in the tournament. And it's like, well, shit. I thought they were going to get into the tournament right away, you know?
Right.
I don't know. That's just me, though. But yeah, that's about it for now.
What about you, Christian? You been watching anything else?
Well, uh, for those of you listening, please do not hate me for this, but only because I've been busy this past year, year and a half longer. I finally finished up Toradora.
Oh,
Ooh,
it's so
nice.
good.
That's a good one.
Did you
Love
watch the
Taiga.
sub or the dub?
Dubbed. So
Go back and rewatch the sub. It's worth
it,
it. It's
it took
excellent.
it took me a while to get through with the dub, so I think I'm good for now.
Oh,
I'm gonna have
I've
to.
watched both of them multiple times. They're both fantastic. The dub for that show though is absolutely perfect.
It is. So again, awesome job to the cast.
hmm
It's just so different. I just haven't seen something like this like in any other shows. Like this show purposely like had to check this and like they say okay, what not to do, what not to cookie cutter off from, and they checked most of this, believe it or not. and I have to give them the biggest applause ever for their achievement.
You
Oh,
know
it
what I
was
wish?
so good. Such a
uh,
good show.
Talking
I
about
get
Tor. Oh,
mhm.
sorry. What? But
Train
now
before I get.
talking about Toradora. You know what I've always wished that some people, like big corporations, would do is like CGI that swearing parrot in the background of the commercial.
Oh God.
It's
Well,
like,
I
especially if the
gave
commercial makes no sense.
I gave Toradora extra points for the wrestling episode. I have never seen like them do something like that. Like maybe some other shows, but this one just they dribble the ball pretty long with this one. So thank you, Toradora, for paying respects to professional wrestling. I really appreciate that.
Oh, the show's excellent. That's in my top 10 or top 5 favorite shows of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It kind of flip-flops in between it, in and out of the top 5 depending upon the flavor of the month, but it's always in the top 10 of my favorite shows.
yeah, gotta love Tyga.
I'm pretty sure Eric Kimmer enjoyed that show because he's a big wrestling dude. So there's that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else?
What did I finish up?
You
I
caught
was
up
going.
on Uromanga Sensei?
Yes, I'm still with that. So,
It's excellent, isn't
mhm.
it? It's such a good
I
show.
I will have more to say as soon as I'm done with it. So right now it's the same stuff as before on
Right.
Crunchyroll. Whatever I'm finishing up, I'm almost there until the last episodes.
Well, and
Pop up.
not this most recent episode, but the episode before. I think that's one you probably are caught up to. They had a nice little cameo by one of the characters from Orimo in it.
That's funny as shit.
Yeah,
That's nothing I've noticed some of these
yeah.
anime shows doing. They're doing cameos now.
Well, most of them do like cameos by like showing like the manga or like the anime in the background of another show. But this one
No,
actually had like the character in it.
no. This is for you, Jared. Have you heard of Sentai show when supernatural powers became a commonplace?
Yeah.
And if you look, there's a pool episode, at the water park.
Mhm.
If you pay attention, like one of the characters are talking, you see Mako from Kill the Kill swimming in the pool. You see her head, but she's like paddling along from like the right side of the screen to the left side of the screen.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And it's like, holy shit, like no way, that can't be Mako. Like I looked closely, squinted. I even went to the internet, and they even said the same thing. Hey, that's Mako from Kill the Kill and this other show called When Supernatural Powers, became commonplace.
That's awesome.
It is so they're now sticking in characters, and like they're not just they're moving,
Yeah.
they're actually interacting with the surroundings. So I think that's a new step in direction when it comes to cameos
Oh, I
in
can
anime.
completely agree. Like this, like in Uromanga, like Karen Echo actually had like a line in it and everything. Like she was on on the TV getting interviewed by a reporter for something, which was really I thought that was awesome. I was like, oh my god. But that show, yeah, that one's been excellent. I know we both enjoy that one. Oh, all right. Well, we're right around that hour mark, so need to
Yeah.
wrap it
Hmm?
up here.
No.
Yes. um, you can catch us here on YouTube. Like and subscribe to us. Hit the little bell icon for updates on all of our content. Said this multiple times before. We put out quite a bit of content every week now, between our live stream videos, the interviews, the podcasts, gaming videos. Usually putting out at least 4 to 5 videos a week right now.
Yeah, we're going ham now with our content.
Yeah, I like ham.
Good lord.
I bet you do.
I
Other
know.
than
It's
that, you can catch
great.
us on SoundCloud. If you just want to listen to the podcast on there, we are on there. I need to update that because you can only put so much stuff on there at a time. But hopefully we'll get onto Podbean later this year, and then from there onto like iTunes and that sort of a thing. Um, I know we've vaguely thrown the idea of possibly starting a Patreon here in the near future too, which is something I
We
think
have.
yeah, we've talked about it occasionally. I know Mike has mentioned it a few times. Christian and I have talked about it.
Eh.
I think it'd be fun. We just have to come up with enough stuff to actually do with it, but it's possible. But also speaking of Patreons, check out our buddy Blake Shepard. His Patreon for his
Yes.
show Robot Girl he's working on. That's going to be coming out at some point. I'm not sure of the date right now, but that definitely support him. You get some really cool stuff with it. And then you can also catch us on Twitter as well. Get all the updates on there. But one last thing before we get off of here, I was going to run an idea by you two guys. How would you feel about if we cut the podcast into 2 episodes? Do
Yeah,
the news on one episode, and then we can go a little bit more in depth about talking about shows on a different episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do that. I'm down for that.
Yeah, because I feel like we just don't have enough time on here
Mhm.
to really go in a lot or talk a lot about the shows we're currently watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to go overtime either because I don't want to bore our viewers that they have to sit like another extra hour. or
Right,
so.
right. I don't want it to be too long. So I was thinking maybe we could possibly do something like that.
Mhm.
If you guys would like for us to do that, go a little bit more in depth about the shows we're watching, just cut it into 2 different episodes. Let us know in the comment section below.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
people hit us up on social media too if you want to,
right.
Yep.
especially Twitter guys. So if you want, I mean,
Yep.
we're not we're not hard to reach people. So
No,
Don't
no,
be
it's
shy.
really easy.
yeah, give us a nudge if you really wanna throw any 2 cents. So we won't bite.
Just aggressively click that like button and jiggle those bells.
Good lord.
Well, jiggle the bell, or oh my gosh.
All
Yeah,
right. Well, on that note, we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah. See you guys.
Adios, amigos.